I like vinyl. Do you like vinyl? I like eating off of them, frisbeeing them, listening to them, dropping them on the ground. They're fun. Welcome to Hi-Fi. I'm Marcos, this is Kurt, and today we're reviewing the Project Debut Carbon Pro. Is the hot-rodded Debut Carbon really worth the extra money? At first glance, the Project Debut Carbon Pro is a nice, simple turntable featuring adjustable VTA and azimuth, a hybrid carbon fiber and aluminum tone arm, Project's very own Picket Pro cartridge, and the ability to play 33, 45s, and 78s, and they supply the special belt to play 78s as well. Nice part about the Debut Carbons as well is they supply you with all the necessary tools for the initial setup. Usually from the factory, the cartridge is pre-mounted and aligned. So all you need to do is set up your cartridge weight and anti-skate, and you're usually ready to go. And just for fun, we took out our protractors and made sure it was all set to go for today's listening session. So the major upgrades with the Debut Carbon Pro compared to just the regular Debut Carbon, the tone arm has been fully reworked with an all-new bearing block machined from a single piece of aluminum.
So what I'll do is, from memory, I'll do my best to remember what it compares from the old Carbon. Strikingly, of course, the looks, I do like how they have this toggle switch as opposed to just having that normal switch that was set at the bottom of the turntable. I think this just adds a little bit kind of a vintage look onto to that. Also, too, this is matte. They're always kind of known for the more gloss colors. So I do like the overall looks compared to even the previous Debut Carbon. One thing I noticed when I picked it up right away is the weight of this platter. This platter is obviously it's like a die-cast aluminum. That's really what it seems like. They also put this rubber around here again to help dampen the platter itself, again, reducing any kind of unwanted vibrations. I would see this being a really good upgrade to the Carbon. Another thing I noticed too is even the way they fitted the motor. Usually in the Carbon, from what I remember, you can see it's got two pieces, and what they do is they mount it right onto the turntable plinth itself, and they try to isolate it. However, in here, it actually looks like this. It's almost just like a separate isolated motor that they dropped into here, and that's one of the other things that I really noticed that is quite different with this turntable. And another thing is the feet. It's got these, one thing, really nicer looking feet, again adding to the basically to the isolation and helping reduce vibrations that are going back into the turntable.
The performance of the Debut Carbon Pro actually impressed me overall for its price at around $1,100 Canadian or $849 US. It's a really solid performer, and it really sets you on the right path to kind of next level record listening over your more inexpensive options. This has so many upgrades that you can definitely enjoy it for a few years and have fun with it.
The overall sound quality, I find it to be quite damp sounding or rounded sounding, or if anything. So it's perfect for the guys that really want just that more sense of, I would say, kind of refinement in the sound. I think overall they're really gonna like this turntable. And overall, just I would say even the way that this thing is constructed, you're getting all the elements of a higher end turntable, really, kind of in that price. It's really kind of that sweet spot where you're kind of getting everything at a higher end price, as compared to its, for example, like its younger sibling or the Debut Carbon.
When it came to listening to the Debut Carbon Pro at around 65 decibels, regular conversation level, that well-roundedness really prevailed. I found it kind of did everything really well. It was really balanced. I found the bass was fairly well detailed. The mid-range was nice and present. The upper end detail was there, but not as much as I would have hoped for, I guess. Overall, I think at that volume level, it was a pretty good performer.
Compared to some other turntables that might be a little bit more lively sounding setup, yeah, so I would say that you're right. At that lower volume, that top end, you might not hear all the little stuff at the lower volume level. At louder volumes, say over 80 decibels, what we really want to see here is how easy it was to listen to. Was it still going to be fatiguing? In this case, no, because it's just got a lot of warmth and a lot of. It's just a very, go back to that rounded sound again. You can really turn this up, and definitely this as being the source won't be the culprit of having any kind of ear fatigue or sorry, listening fatigue that may happen.
When it came down to listening to the Project Debut Carbon Pro, we listened to a wide variety of music. It was kind of nice to break out some of our vinyl collection and go through a few albums. 2 albums that really stood out for us today. Annette Askovic, Under the Tallest Tree. The nice part about this album is just how beautifully recorded it really is. I really like hearing this song because of like air around her vocals. It really gives you like a picture of how big that room is. On the Debut Carbon Pro, it actually did a pretty good job. It wasn't humongous sounding, but everything sounded nice and clear and really well-rounded. Yeah.
I'd say first, I would just say I would support her. I actually had a chance to listen to her when I was down in New York, and even had the chance to chat with her right after dinner. And she was in The Voice down in Europe, and she told me the whole story. And I really love her passion in her creating music and writing music. So if anyone just I'd say stream her music or even order or purchase her albums. Just to let you know, this is not a sponsorship. How can it be a sponsorship? Because we don't even have followers to do any kind of sponsorship. So it's just, please, I love supporting artists that I know, and she's one of them. She has really become quite a name in people, even in shows, and how many people use her music because just of the high quality reproduction. And like in this track, the way she does it, she just creates a lot of this air and kind of layering in her voice, which you can really hear through this turntable. Now, I noticed some other turntables, which we'll probably touch on a little bit later, like for example, like the regular turntable, they'll have a lot more, I would say, feeling sense of air and liveliness. However, though, for those, like just for in general, in this kind of music, for those that are looking for that analogish kind of warmth, they're really gonna like that.
The second album that stood out for us today, Thelma Houston and Pressure Cooker, the song Step in Time. I love this song. It's super upbeat. There's lots going on, and it just seems like the band has this amazing synergy during this song. Just they're grooving, they're enjoying it. And the cool part about this album, I just read back here, it's actually recorded live straight to the master disc. So you definitely hear it with the Debut Carbon Pro. It keeps up with the pace and rhythm of the band, no problem. I found it was really well detailed. I just really enjoyed the music.
When listening to this track, this is a really good test. Anytime you got a turntable, that what you gotta do is you just got that much stuff going on. It's really hard for it to kind of pinpoint everything and then make all the sounds just really pop out from the background, which because you'll notice a lot of turntables, there's a lot of noise in the background, so just things don't really come alive. This was a really good test for this. It really did it. The dynamics was excellent, especially on the percussion. It sounded really good. It placed everything really well. I would say the one thing is it being again going back to that damp sound. I wish it had a little bit more liveliness. I did notice on the horns that just needed that little bit more bite would have just really completed it. But yes, again, the way that they're looking for the sound here, they're really looking for, like I said, that more just really polite, easy to listen kind of sound, and I think that's what they were trying to accomplish with this.
When looking at comparisons for the Project Debut Carbon Pro, being a big Techniques fan, of course, the latest Techniques SL 1500 comes to mind for me. Very comparable price-wise. The 1500 is around $1,500 Canadian. Sound-wise, I find the Project is a little bit more of that, more well-rounded. It's more damped, where the Techniques 1500 is going to bring you a little bit more clarity and detail on the top end, but maybe a little bit more sharpness as well. So it all depends on what you're really looking for sound-wise.
Well, I say a little bit more that analytical.
Yeah, a little bit more analytical. Yeah. Setup-wise, both the 1500 and the Debut Carbon Pro are very similar. The other thing that stands out for with the Project for me is the fact that it will play 78s, giving you a wider range of use with the table. The other thing too, of course, the Project is a belt drive, where the Techniques 1500 is a direct drive turntable.
So of course, one that really comes to mind is either the Riga P2, P3, which have this very similar characteristic. This really sits right in the middle of that price. The Riga P2 is roughly around what, 800 Canadian right now, or 900 Canadian, somewhere in that price point.
Around that. Yeah.
And then the P3 is
1740.
Yeah, so with cartridge.
With cartridge.
Yeah, and that will come with, I think, the Anya cartridge or something.
Exact.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or the Elise now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I keep changing it all the time. But yeah. So in terms of the, I'll say in terms of the sound, the Riga's always kind of like that little bit more liveliness, upbeat, like kind of that really kind of that groovy kind of sound. Again, it really depends. If people just like things a little bit more, I would say a little bit more polite sounding, which this would be. And some people like the Riga because they just feel it just really jives. It kind of really moves, and at the end of the game, there's no right or no wrong. These two turntables are probably split across of who likes what and who thinks it's better. But I think that really it's just up to you at the end of the day. So hopefully, if you can audition them, I would highly recommend it.
We really recommend the Project Debut Carbon Pro for that listener who kind of wants that next level in a turntable. Even if this is your first table, it really gets you along that upgrade path where you can keep it for a few years or several years and upgrade the cartridge or do a few little things to tune up the sound to exactly what you like. It's a really solid performer. In terms of overall use, you can use it in many different systems, and I think it'll perform really well for a really long time.
I really don't like always trying to match sources with equipment you have, because I really think if you're trying to match a source, you're band-aiding something else in another reason why you're trying to fix, like, saying the speakers. With this though, however, I'd say if you do say you have a system that you're just kind of saying to yourself, hey, which one should I get? Should I get the regular? Should I get the Project? And you're saying, well, you know what? I want something to be, slightly a little bit more laid back, a little more rounded sounding. I would definitely say, this would be the choice. If you're looking to bring a little bit more life, then you can look more into, like, say, the Techniques or like the Riga turntable in that same price point.
Thanks for watching our video today on the brand new Project Debut Carbon Pro, celebrating Project's 30th anniversary. If you have any comments about the turntable or tell us about your own Project turntable, please let us know down in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.